What's up, guys? Greg here on the Vinyl Rundown. It's the scariest time of the year. No, not Halloween. I'm talking about election season. Time to vote. If you feel like voting, I'm going to go through some of my presidential records. Yeah, I've got presidential records. I collect all kinds of weird stuff. If I see something at the Goodwill for 50 cents or $1, I buy it. The Resignation of Richard M. Nixon, August 8th. He's not a crook. TV, look at that. I don't know what to say about this other than it's a speech that capital EMI threw on a record. And did anybody buy it? I don't know. Who would listen to that? I have no idea. Soon after, Spiro Agnew, Nixon's vice president, who resigned in disgrace. That's the word I was looking for. Spiro Agnew. Great cover, though. He speaks out on topics such as radicalism, Vietnam War critics, protesters, and other malcontents, and hippies. Anyway, let's see. The challenge to the hippies. Thoughts on the Democratic Party, etc. Great cover, though. I don't think I've ever listened to this. I'm going to put some of these on YouTube someday when I get around to digitizing a bunch of records. A lot of records about this guy, John Kennedy. What is this? A documentary, The Presidential Years, excerpts from great speeches. That's an easy way to throw a record together and get it on the market. Take some public domain speeches and throw it on a record. That doesn't work anymore. But anything famous or interesting about this? Bunch of speeches. A dozen great speeches by President Kennedy on record. On what record label? Does anyone care? Pickwick International. That's kind of a discount cheap drugstore label. Okay. Who wants to sit back and listen to some inaugural addresses that have no relevance 70 years later? Commemorative Edition. This is the Commemorative Edition. Oh, this is a freebie from Assemblyman Jim Keesor. Who is he? I have no idea who he is. San Francisco. This is sent out by the committee to re-elect Jim Keesor. Did he get re-elected? I have no idea. I think a lot of different politicians probably slapped their name on this and sent it out. But you got the greatest hits. You got Republicans and Democrats. How about some more Kennedy? A memorial album. More highlights of speeches by Kennedy. Let me just see if there's a record label here. I'm not going to bother. Oh. Lots of records that I have that no one listens to. Someday, I promise I'm going to listen to them. Okay, more on Kennedy. The controversy, the Warren Commission report, the death of Kennedy. This is a pretty interesting record because it goes into the assassination. Assassination greatest hits such as Oswald and Ruby. And who's that guy? I don't know. Different investigators. Gerald Ford. Okay, Mark Lane. I read his book. Plausible Denial, I think. Rush to Judgment. Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford was on the Warren Commission. Did you know that? Anyway, and there's a cool insert in this record. I can't find it. Mark Epstein. Anyway, what else? There's more, guys. There is more. A lot of Kennedy stuff. Kennedy assassination prompted so many books, records, TV shows, theories. You know the story. This has a little bit of mold on it. Sorry to hear that, but movie tone news in mono. I'm glad it's in mono. Here's what we're listening to now, guys. Can you hear it? This is the Goldwaters singing songs to bug the liberals. Why wouldn't you buy that if you could find it for $1? Conservatives unite, bug the liberals, poking fun at the foibles of the left. Cuba, stereos. What's wrong with stereos? I guess if you're conservative, you stick with mono. Stereos kind of, that's too modern. The welfare state, the national debt, the managed news, fake news. Back then they called it the managed news. Pinkos, Harvard, the CIA, This is what that sounds like. Listen to that. How many of you attended this party, the Reagan-Bush Victory Party in 1980? I was not invited. But who's playing on here? The Keith Williams Quintet. Who's Keith Williams? No idea. He's got a lot of records out though. Okay, there's a climax to this ridiculous video, guys. Mort Saul, comedian, but really the first great American political satirist. At least the one stand-up comedy, and he did a lot of, you know, TV shows, nightclubs, The Tonight Show, all that sort of thing. He is still alive at 93. I saw him doing his shtick on Periscope videos not too long ago. I don't know if he's still doing that, but anyway, Mort Saul was actually hired to write jokes for John Kennedy. Big Kennedy supporter. And when Kennedy was shot and killed, Mort Saul didn't believe the Warren Commission report. And you can't say the C word without getting kicked off YouTube, but he believed in the conspiracy. That word. And he went and worked with Jim Garrison in New Orleans to actually uncover who the real killers of Kennedy were. Of course, you can't talk about that anymore because you'll get deplatformed. Mort Saul, what else did he do? He did something else that was incredible, which I can't remember. It'll come to me. He influenced people like Lenny Bruce. Vote for Lenny Bruce because he is not a nut. Lenny Bruce, very controversial, got censored quite a bit in his time. George Carlin. He also influenced George Carlin. George Carlin did a great bit on why you shouldn't vote. I can't find it. I don't know if I have that on record. What else was I going to tell you about Mort Saul? I don't know. Maybe that's it. Still around at 93. Beautiful cover on Verb. These are some of my presidential records during the week of the presidential election. That's it, guys. Just a quick run through of some crazy records and not so crazy records and even serious records that I have regarding presidential politics. And I've got records on every subject under the sun, as you can imagine. Let me know what you think, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit notifications. And vote. Or don't vote. But have a great Halloween one way or the other. Have a good one.